So in this lecture, we will learn about the concept of class and characteristic in SAP. See, the class and characteristic concept in SAP is a very generic concept which is used in almost all areas of SAP. However, for PM perspective, class and characteristic concept is primarily used to store the specification of equipment. If you remember, we have created one equipment. So we had a few details available about that equipment. We created one equipment called hydraulic pump, right? See, here we have a few details like manufacturer, model number, manufacturing part, serial number, and all that. Apart from that, we can have a few more detail related to the product, a type of product, the different specification of a product. So where to store that detail? So for that purpose, primarily we use a concept of class and characteristic. So to understand this class and characteristic concept, I'm creating another equipment master. That equipment I'm considering as a one electrical motor. So I'm creating another equipment master on the name of electrical motor. Here I'm not putting much detail into this electrical motor. I'm simply writing the few details like Siemens is the manufacturer, model number is ABC dash this one. That's it. Plant PM01. Okay. That's it. Now, because this is a motor and we have many more details to maintain again this motor. Primarily in a motor, apart from the manufacturer, serial number and all that, we have a few more details which we want to maintain as a product specification like type of motor, number of phase. This is a typical technical detail. So if you are from the electronics or electrical side, you'll easily correlate. So, and other guys don't worry about this because this detail shall be provided by the end user. Rated voltage, power, or we can call it rated power. Okay. Frequency. And motor, very common specification is frame size. Okay. And rated speed. Now I want to store all these specifications. These details are primarily technical detail. So I want to store all these details against my equipment master. So for that purpose, in SAP, the first thing is that we can create one class. For class creation, we can use transaction CL01. There, I'm putting motor underscore class. This is my class name. Here we have many class types available. As I told you that we can use this concept of class in material. Similarly, equipment, function location, inspection characteristic, it is for QM module, got vendor class, customer class. So many options are available for us. But these options are not all options are related to the PM. Okay, many options are related to the approval, like this release strategy. This option is related to the approval of a purchase order. Okay, so I'm considering the equipment class as one characteristic. Now, what happens if I select the equipment class? If I'm selecting this equipment class type, then system will allow me to assign this class to the equipment master. We'll see it. I'm putting simple description of here as a motor specification. You can, at the time of creation, you can keep class either in preparation, released or logged. If you are selecting release, it means you can use it. If it is in preparation, means it is still under creation, you cannot use it. If it is logged, then you can use it. Here you can also define the validity of a class. If you have something which you want to maintain the validity period according to the validity period, then you can create it. Now here's some keyword. Keyword is for searching and all that purpose. Right? So I created one class called motor class. But my objective is not to create a class. My objective is to store these information, right? So this is my class. And what we call all this, we can call all these as a characteristic of a equipment. Okay. So for that purpose, we need to create these characteristics. Now, when you go for a characteristic creation, we have an option of CT04 T code. Here you can create a characteristic like I'm giving. Characteristic is a type of or motor type. Okay, then I'm after that I'll give again. This is the name of a characteristic. However, this is a description. Motor type detail. Now, when you create a characteristic, there are options available to me. Whether this characteristic holds a single value or multiple value. Sometimes it happens that you have a, suppose you have one motor and that motor can operate under two different current. So you can select the multiple value option and there you can enter two different values so that at the time of equipment assignment, you will select the appropriate one. So as of now, I'm selecting single value only. And also a characteristic can have a different type of data because it is not necessary that for every specification there will be a number. Let's say type of motor, I am putting AC. This AC motor means it is a character, not number, right? So whether your characteristic is a numerical characteristic or characteristic that can be selected from here. So you can give a characteristic format. If I give a characteristic format as a character format, then system allow me to enter a character. I can enter all alphabet, I can enter all numbers. If I select currency format, then system will allow me to enter currency only. If I enter date format, then system will allow me to enter date and so on. For a numeric format, system will allow me to enter the only digits. So this is a one option. For because as I told you that this characteristic is a generic concept. So in case of a approval matrix for a let's say a purchase order where you can define an approval band. Suppose up to 10 lakh, 10 lakh or 1 million, I am allowed it to approve. Above 1 million, you are allowed it to approve. It means here we are talking about the currency. So in that type of characteristic, we need to select the currency format. For here, I am selecting the characteristic character format. Number of character. Here, you have to restrict how many number of character you will be allowed it to enter. Okay, you can take any number as per your specification. Description. Here, this is again a description of product. Now here you can enter the value. Let's say characteristic value and a description. So I'm putting 1 as a characteristic value and description. This is my type of motor. So I'm putting AC. AC motor. Alternate current motor. Okay. So this is a value, right? So I created motor type. Similarly, I'm going to create few more characteristics as mentioned here. Number of phases, rated voltage and all that. So I'm putting number of phases here. NOF, pH, Okay. Now here we can select number of phases. It is a numeric value. So I'll put numeric. So number of character allowed it 4 character. If you want to give any decimal point, so you can allow a decimal points here. If you have a particular specific unit of measurement, then you can choose that. Here, as you can see, when I selected data type number, then we have a few more options available. Interval allowed it or not. Interval means here the range 0 to 100, 100 to 200. Okay. So that you can use if it is required. Here, I'm again putting some value, characteristic value. Number of phases, I'm putting number of phase, 3-phase motor. Okay. In the next characteristic, we'll do little change, rated voltage. So I'll do one thing. I'll make one change, rated voltage. Here I'm selecting a rated voltage as a multiple value. Means I'll have a two option. I need to select which one is a right one, right? So in case of a multiple value, I'm going to put here rated voltage is a 400, 500. Right now we are simply preparing the base for our product specification with the help of characteristic and class. Rated voltage. So let me put 400, 500. Then I'm again creating another one which is called rated power. Okay, rated power. Rated power can be, you can have a multiple value. See, what is the purpose of using a multiple value? If you have one characteristic where multiple values are available, so the same characteristic can be used with different combination of equipment. Let's say you have a one more equipment or one motor with power voltage is a 400, there is a 500. So you can use same characteristic because you have an option to select out of 400, 500. If you are keeping the single value, then it will, you have to create a new characteristic. So for a rated power, I am again creating a considering multiple, and for power, I am taking character format, 10 digit. Here, I'll put value as a 1 as a 50 kilowatt, 2 as a 100 kilowatt, and 3 as a 150 kilowatt motor. Right. Now I was stopping on this point. Now, what we did, we created a one class and we have also created a one characteristic. But still, this class and characteristic has no relationship. So in our next step, we are going to assign a relationship between class and characteristic. That can be done CL02, change mode of that class and characteristic. Here you can see we have an option of a characteristic assignment. So you simply need to select whatever characteristic you have created. So let us find first of all the characteristic. So our first characteristic was motor. So I'm putting star motor. So see, I have these many available characteristics. So this is the characteristic which we have created, motor type, right? Then we have rated voltage. So I'm again searching voltage as one characteristic. Rated voltage, this one is created by us. Then rated power. Rated power, this we have created. Then we have created number of phases, number of, oh, num, we have given some absurd type of name to this. Let us again go to the CT04. There you will find the impression of this. Guess this one. NOFPH. NOFPH. Now, what we have did, we have maintained a relationship between my class type and characteristic. Now I'm saving this. Now, but still, this class and characteristic assignment is in isolation. Now, next step is to maintain a relationship between equipment master and this class. So for that purpose, we can go to IE02, which is equipment master change mode. This is equipment master, which we have created as a motor. Now see here, few basic details we have already entered. Manufacturer, model name. Let me put few more details like part number. Construction year and month you can give as a, okay. I'm just completing it. It is not mandatory requirement. Now let's go to class and document. Here we have a class available. Now see, currently because it is equipment, so the class type 002 is default assigned to it. Okay. Now next thing is to assign a class which we have created. Remember, we have a class type, class, characteristic. So I'm searching my class type, what we have created. Which one was that one? Because yeah, this is a class type which we have created, motor class. Now, as you can see, as I entered a class type here, system automatically bought all this characteristic what I have assigned. Now here you will see that what is the meaning of single value and multiple value. Motor type. This was a single value. System simply allowing me to select the AC motor. Rated voltage. Here you can see I have a two option 400, 500. It means this particular characteristic can be assigned to any other equipment because I have a choice of selection here. So I'm selecting 500 as a rated. Then we have a rated power. So as you can see, in case of a rated power, we have assigned three values: 50 kilowatt, 100 kilowatt, and 150 kilowatt. So you can choose, or you can choose two values also. I'm just giving you the logical one because it is possible that sometime you need to choose the two values. However, for motor perspective here, your motor can have only single rated power, so you cannot choose. The number of phases, 3. Okay. So in this way, equipment master can be linked with its original specification with the help of class and characteristic. I'm going back. I am saving this. Okay. Now again, explain you what are the steps needed here. So step number 1, equipment master creation. If it is already available, if you have created equipment master in mass, so you simply have to refer the number. Then step number 2 is create a class creation. Here my class type will be 002. Then third option, characteristic creation. You can choose your characteristic data type here as a character or numeric or currency if needed. Then fourth step, assignment of class to characteristic. And last step, assignment of equipment master to class. So these are steps required to create class and characteristic concept here. Now let us again go back and check our equipment master. So this is equipment. Here you will find the classification view under the class in talk. AC motor, 500 voltage, rated power 100 kilowatt, number of frequency 3, right? So in this way you can perform this task. Now suppose this is a motor. Now let's do one change here. Now this is a motor. If you remember, we have created one function location. Suppose I want to assign this motor to that function location also. So what I can do, I'll go to the function location IL02. PM01, that pumping area was, I guess, our function location. This is test server, so you'll find lots of data here. This is a pumping area. So now this newly created equipment, this is our motor. This is a motor, so I'm assigning this motor to the electrical auxiliary. Storage location. For that purpose, I'll go to structure. Here, I'm assigning my motor. Now, if you go and check the structure of this complete, so you'll have this sort of a structure. See, your main area is a pumping area. Under that pumping area, you have one equipment called hydraulic pump. That pumping area has another child function location called electrical auxiliaries, and that child function location has a one equipment has an equipment called electrical motor. So in this way, the structure is very much clear to us. That's it.